So I invented a new art genre, a new genre of art. There are thousands, if not millions, maybe not that many, different genres and subgenres that exist for every medium. Be it music, movies, paintings, you name it. But when I recently went to the sketching board and worked on this new doll, I just couldn't find a category that she would fit in. I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find anything that was similar to what I had in my massive mind. So I invented a new art genre. Here's how it went. Before I go into detail, I explain the footage you see right now and then let it roll in the background. I lightly sketch out where I want to cut out 2 rectangles with my Dremel. Looks very weird to do this at the beginning, but trust me, it will make sense in just a moment. While cutting, I realized that the legs are actually massive and not hollow as I thought. Well, you learn something new every day. I want her body to be adorned with a lot of ornaments and found this really cool pearl making paint that dries hard and doesn't lose its raised shape. So as I mentioned before, there are a lot of different genres and concepts in which art can be categorized in. Many even overlap with several different ones. The movie The Treasure Planet is a perfect example for the steampunk genre, a genre that utilizes 19th century machinery in futuristic environments. The movie The Castle in the Sky, on the other hand, has a lot of similarities with steampunk but can't be categorized as such because of the use of more modern looking machineries using petrol. Thus, this movie falls into the next subgenre, dieselpunk. Interestingly, a lot of Ghibli movies fall into this subgenre, like Nausicaa and Porco Rosso. Going further down the line, subgenres such as decopunk, atompunk, cyberpunk, synthwave and vaporwave also appear. But none of these would fit my idea of a doll machine made out of porcelain. Imagine the matte golden brass of a steampunk armor and then replace it with white shiny porcelain. Dozens of little, highly decorated porcelain plates set together with molten golden metal. The only reference pictures I could find that looked somewhat how I imagined it are some concept art pieces of an enemy in the new movie Battle Angel Alita and this statue, but none of these really hit home for me. So I decided to call my new genre porcelain punk. Honestly, there's probably an actual name to what I have in my mind, but somebody already probably invented it like 15 years ago, but hey, it makes a cool title. Anyway, in the meantime, I covered her entire body with white lacquer, usually used for outside workshops. The paint ain't going anywhere. Except the joints, of course. It's always the joints. As you can see, the white pearl paint kept its form and now they look like they're one with the body. To really make the white body look like porcelain, I draw with a blue watercolor pencil the typical delicate ornaments that seem so familiar to me. They remind me of Dutch or Chinese pottery. I not only draw the raised parts of her body, but draw an edge where her mechanical parts would show. In a moment you will see me remove this again and set it a bit lower, because when the head is back on you couldn't see it otherwise. I of course sprayed the body with a matte varnish so I could draw on the paint. The white paint is actually quite glossy, but with the varnish it loses it all. If you're curious, all materials used on this doll are listed always in the description below. Take a look, there are a lot of interesting things down there. I found it really funny that this footage looks like I'm drawing really slow, but this was already sped up twice. So you can imagine how slow and time consuming this part really was. I really regret not sending off her underwear before I painted her entire body. The finished doll is standing on my table right now besides me, and my eyes always get stuck on this harsh edge. I noticed this already in this stage you see footage of right now, and I tried to cover it up by drawing a very delicate pattern over it, and it worked for me at the time, but now looking back at it, it's really bothering me. The blue pencil already has a really nice coverage, but I will go over every blue detail twice to make the color pop more. What I do for my art, but I love it. For me unbeknownst reason, I decided that I have strained my hand enough already, so I draw a tiny pattern also onto her hands. And of course I have to mirror everything for continuity. Look how good the blue paint looks. Oh, so pretty! I also blushed a few areas such as the knees and the legs with a faint blue color. I totally didn't touch the blue paint by accident and smeared it everywhere. I swear. To protect the paint so I don't actually touch it again, I cover it with 2 layers of varnish, a matte and a gloss. Looking back, this first layer of matte paint wasn't really that necessary. The gloss works alone pretty well. Oh gosh, I just love this glossiness. I want to lick it. But it's probably not good for me. Here is the body with 1 layer of matte varnish. I love it. Well done, me! That was me just hitting myself on the back. I just show it 1 moment longer. Okay, next. Before the final glossy varnish, I glue the springs into the holes of her legs. Okay, I know my concept is quite an odd one, but looking at my other videos, you kinda need to get used to it. Shameless plug, subscribe and like this video for more out there concepts. I made these springs by wrapping a wire around a brush. Not this brush. I imagined that they would move in a circular pattern when she moves. And here is the promised glossy varnish layer. Now let's switch to her face. I made the sketch of how I want her to look like. I drew a cutesy anime girl face to contrast her obscure looking body. I initially also wanted to make this mantle for her, but I decided against it in the end, because it would have hit all my painting work, and it's really nice looking at. She will get a mantle though, when I draw her soon in my manga stories, which you can follow on my Instagram account. Block, block, block. Back to her face. I will perform plastic surgery on her to remove her lower lip, since I want her to grin. So I first go in with a Stanley knife and cut away bigger chunks and then take several different shaped files and nail buffers to smooth out the surface. And I'm so sorry for the blurry footage, it will be gone in just a moment. Quite cautious when using the tip of the file to not break through the plastic and rip a hole into your mouth. Because I don't have another of these after hydros, they're really hard to find where I live. After 2 coats of sealant are set, I go in with my watercolor pencils and sketch her face with a light brown pencil. It's better to go in light so you are still able to erase a few mistakes and play with the shapes. Oh yes, this eraser pencil is very interesting, my camera. But please focus on what's important. Thank you. first layer I also started building up the white in her eyes. The white colors always take the most layers to get good coverage. While I'm at it, I also blush her cheeks and chin. Now I start going in with darker pencils on the second layer to make the colors brighter. Can you even make dark colors brighter? Anyway, to be honest, at the moment she looks quite ecstatic, but that will change in a minute. I rather want her to have a look full of wonders, like she's in a constant state of amazement of her surroundings. To give her green eyes with a yellow gradient that goes from the inner to the outer iris. It's my first time drawing actual anime eyes, and I really like the outcome so far. I want to draw them even more projects in the future. Here I decided that she needed more blush, which she obviously didn't, and tried to frantically brush them off, even with my finger. A moment please. So where was I? Oh yes, layering. What else? We're almost finished. To finish up the eyes, I used acrylic paint to give her eye reflections even more coverage. Warning! Do not use gouache without an extra layer of sealant above it. The glossy varnish will eat the paint away since both are water-based. This part is actually one of my favorite ones. The eye shines just make them alive. Oh yeah, hair is still missing. Don't want a bald anime girl. As you saw in my sketchbook, her hair is a short bob with a fringe and two hair strands that stand up like cat ears. I find that beyond cute. I used acrylic yarn, I guess it's quite old, I don't know what I'm actually using here. The process of gluing the hair to the head got corrupted, but any other repaint video of mine shows the process in detail, so you can check out any of them. The footage in the back is quite self-explanatory. I just cut the hair to the length I want and style it with styling gel. The hairstyle is actually quite similar to Felix there in the back. Here is the part where I combined the head with the body again, but man, that was so nerve-wracking, because her giant head wouldn't fit on her neckpiece anymore. Please help! Actually, I haven't talked about her backstory yet. So get ready. Her name is unknown since she has lived for thousands of years already. She roams the floating rocks of the upper world, where the lost civilizations once lived. They say she is the last porcelain robot that has survived from that time, as she is an ancient machinery once used to defend the walls of the lithic kingdom, without soul or mind. But over time, something seemingly has changed in her mechanics, since she is now on her own way. looking to go somewhere. Only she knows. And that's it. That's the story. I hope you like her. And thank you all for watching. Take care and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. I really regret. And of course I have to mirror everything for continuity. What is this word? Continuity. Penguin. Continuity. How do I pronounce this word? How does it work?
Continuity. Continuity.
Continuity. Continuity. I choose. Or I chose. The process of... Her name is Anyan. Her name is Anyan. Once used to defend the walls of the lithic kingdom. Kingdom? It's the king.